The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world. It's against the image you carry of yourself inside your mind. The truth is, how you see yourself will decide how far you go in life. If you see yourself as weak, you will live weak. If you see yourself as broken, you will live broken. But if you change the way you see yourself, you can change everything. Too many people wake up every morning and look into the mirror, but they don't see possibility. They don't see strength. They don't see greatness. They see doubt. They see failure. They see all the labels people have stuck on them over the years. Words like not enough, not worthy, not capable. But hear me today, those labels only have power if you let them. You are not what people said about you. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the failures that tried to break you. You are more, you are stronger, you are capable of becoming the person you dream of being. But it starts with one simple choice, to change the picture you hold of yourself. When you begin to see yourself as valuable, you start to treat yourself differently. You begin to act differently. And life responds to that belief. Confidence is not built on waiting for someone to approve of you. It's built on learning to approve of yourself. Understand this, the world outside you is only a reflection of the world inside you. If you believe in your worth, opportunities will appear. If you carry yourself with faith, people will respect you. If you dare to see yourself as limitless, you will live a limitless life. So today, make a decision. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am enough, I am worthy, I am strong, and I refuse to let the past define me. Change the way you see yourself, and you will change the way the world sees you. Because the moment you see your own greatness, the world will have no choice but to see it too. The picture you carry of yourself in your own mind is the most powerful force in your life. It silently decides what you attempt, what you avoid, and what you believe you deserve. Before the world ever places limits on you, your own mind has already drawn the boundaries. That is why people who think small live small, and those who dare to see themselves as powerful, unstoppable, and worthy end up rewriting history. Your self-image is like a lens. If it's broken, everything you see in your life looks broken. If it's dirty, everything looks unclear. But when you change that lens, when you start to see yourself clearly, your entire world transforms. Think about it. The person who believes they are destined to fail will never give their full effort, because deep down they don't expect success. And the person who believes they are destined for greatness will keep going through storms, setbacks, and pain, because they know the finish line is waiting for them. The tragedy is that many people walk around with a false image of themselves, built not by their own truth, but by other people's opinions. A teacher once said they weren't smart enough, and they carried that. A friend once laughed at their dream, and they carried that. A family member once doubted them, and they carried that. And over time, those voices became their identity. But hear me now, those voices are liars. They don't define you. They never did. The only thing that defines you is the belief you choose to hold about yourself. History is full of people who changed their destiny by changing their self-image. They were told they would never make it, never rise, never win. Yet they dared to see themselves differently. They dared to see possibility where others saw limitation. And because they saw it, they lived it. That is the power of self-image. It writes the script of your life. Ask yourself today, what story are you writing? Are you writing the story of defeat or the story of triumph? Are you carrying the picture of failure or the picture of a fighter who refuses to quit? If you don't like the story you're living, you don't need to burn the whole book. You just need to pick up a new pen and start rewriting the next chapter. When you begin to see yourself as worthy, your energy changes. Your choices change. The way you walk into a room changes. And life starts opening doors you once thought were locked. Why? Because you finally unlocked the door inside yourself. So never underestimate the power of your self-image. If you want to change your life, start by changing the way you see yourself. When you look in the mirror and see strength, the world will see it too. When you see greatness in yourself, destiny will align to make it real. Your self-image is not just a reflection, it is the foundation of your future. From the moment you were a child, people started putting labels on you. Some of them were small, some of them were cruel, and some of them stuck so deep that you began to believe they were true. Maybe someone told you that you were too slow, too weak, too ordinary. Maybe they said you weren't smart enough to achieve anything big, or not good looking enough to be noticed, or not talented enough to stand out. And with every word, another label was placed on you like a heavy tag you didn't ask for. But listen carefully. Those labels are not your identity. They are nothing more than opinions spoken out of ignorance, fear, or jealousy. They do not define who you are, and they do not dictate where you can go. If you spend your whole life wearing the labels people gave you, you will shrink yourself to fit their limited vision. But the moment you rip those labels off, you step into the unlimited version of yourself. Think about it. Every great achiever in history had to overcome labels. They were told they didn't have the talent, the education, the resources. Some were told they weren't the right fit, that they didn't belong, that they didn't have what it takes. But what did they do? They refused to let the label become their truth. They tore it off, and they wrote a new one for themselves: champion. Visionary, leader, fighter, winner, you have that same power. You can decide right now to stop answering to names that don't belong to you. Stop carrying titles that were never meant for you. Stop letting someone else's opinion become your prison. The truth is, people label you because they see you through their own limited lens. They don't know your full story. They don't see your potential. They don't feel the fire burning inside you. They only judge you based on what they think you should be. But you are not what they think, you are what you decide. The labels you accept become the limits you live under. That's why you must reject every label that shrinks you. Replace it with truth. If they called you a failure, replace it with fighter. If they called you weak, replace it with strong. If they said you're not enough, declare that you are more than enough. And don't just say it, live it, walk in it, prove it, not for them, but for yourself. Every time you peel off another false label, you get closer to the real version of you, the one that was born with purpose, strength, and greatness. And when you finally step into that identity, you'll realize something powerful. No label anyone gives you can hold you back. So today, make a decision, rip off every false label, destroy every false name, and wear the truth proudly. You are strong, you are worthy, and you are capable of becoming everything you were meant to be. One of the greatest mistakes people make is waiting for the world to tell them they are valuable. They wait for someone to clap for them, to recognize their talent, to validate their dream, to approve of their journey. And when that recognition doesn't come, they start questioning themselves. Am I really good enough? Am I really capable? Do I even matter? But let me tell you something. If you're waiting for the world to confirm your worth, you'll wait forever. Because the world is not in the business of handing out validation. It's in the business of testing whether you believe in yourself enough to keep going without it. Your worth does not come from applause. It does not come from likes, comments, or followers. It does not come from a paycheck, a job title, or the approval of family and friends. Your worth comes from one place within you, from the unshakable truth that you were created with purpose, that you were built with strength, and that you have everything it takes to rise. When you redefine your worth from within, something powerful happens. You stop chasing people's approval. You stop begging for recognition. You stop lowering yourself to fit into places you were never meant to belong. Instead, you start standing tall, knowing your value is non-negotiable. Think about a diamond. If someone throws it in the mud, does it lose its value? No. If someone says, that's just a stone, does it stop being precious? No. Its worth remains the same, no matter who fails to recognize it. That's exactly how your life is. Just because people don't see your value doesn't mean you don't have it. Just because someone didn't appreciate your gift doesn't mean the gift isn't powerful. The moment you understand this, you walk differently. You carry yourself with quiet confidence. You no longer shrink when someone doubts you, because their doubt has nothing to do with your destiny. You no longer feel desperate for recognition, because you've already given yourself permission to succeed. And here's the beauty: when you start treating yourself as valuable, the world has no choice but to follow. But it has to start with you. Stop disqualifying yourself in your own mind. Stop replaying the mistakes of your past as if they are proof that you are not enough. Start speaking truth into yourself. Start affirming your strength, your purpose, your power. Look in the mirror and say, "My worth is not up for debate. I am valuable not because of what I achieve, but because of who I am becoming." When you learn to redefine your worth from within, you stop living like a beggar waiting for scraps of approval. Instead, you rise like a king or queen who already knows their crown belongs to them. Life is nothing more than a reflection of what you carry inside. The battles, the victories, the opportunities, the setbacks, they are all connected to the way you think and believe within yourself. Your outer world will never rise higher than your inner world. If your mind is filled with fear, your life will be filled with hesitation. If your heart is filled with doubt, your path will be filled with dead ends. But if your spirit is filled with faith, then your life will be filled with doors opening in places you never imagined. Most people don't realize this truth. They think circumstances control them. They believe success is about luck, about who you know, about what background you come from. But the deeper truth is this: circumstances are shaped by mindset. Two people can face the same problem. One sees it as the end, the other sees it as a lesson. One walks away defeated, the other walks away stronger. What made the difference? Not the problem, but the inner world they carried when they faced it. If you want to change your life, you don't start with your environment. You start with yourself. You change the thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you hold, and the words you speak to yourself every day. Because whatever you feed your mind will eventually show up in your reality. Feed it doubt, and you'll see failure. Feed it faith, and you'll see possibility. Feed it fear, and you'll stay stuck. Feed it courage, and you'll move mountains. Think of your inner world like a seed. If you plant negativity, don't expect to grow joy. If you plant small thinking, don't expect to harvest big results. But if you plant bold visions, determination, and belief, your outer life will blossom in ways that surprise even you. Every champion, every leader, every world changer began their journey by mastering their inner world first. They trained their minds to believe in victory before it arrived. They trained their hearts to see light even when surrounded by darkness. They trained their spirits to stand tall even when life tried to crush them. That is why they rose. That is why they broke limits. Ask yourself today, what is living inside me? Is it doubt, fear, and insecurity? Or is it faith, courage, and determination? Because whatever lives inside will shape what lives outside. You can't build a strong house on a weak foundation, and you can't build a strong future on a weak mindset. So take control of your inner world, guard your thoughts like treasure, feed your spirit with hope, courage, and truth. Because when you win inside, you will win outside. And once your inner world is unshakable, no storm in your outer world can ever break you. Belief without action is like a car without fuel. It looks good on the outside, but it's not going anywhere. Once you change the way you see yourself, you must prove it through the way you act, because action is the bridge between who you think you are and who you truly become. Too many people say, "I believe in myself," yet their actions betray them. They speak of confidence but live in hesitation. They talk about greatness but hide from opportunities. They dream of success but refuse to step out of their comfort zone. And then they wonder why nothing changes. The truth is simple. Your actions must align with your new self-belief, or else your belief is just empty talk. If you believe you are strong, start acting strong. Stand tall, speak with courage, and walk with purpose. If you believe you are capable, stop waiting for the perfect moment and start building with what you have. If you believe you are worthy, stop settling for less than you deserve and begin pursuing what truly matches your value. Every step you take in alignment with your belief reinforces it, makes it stronger, and sends a message to the world. This is who I am now. Action is the evidence of transformation. It's easy to think differently, but thinking must turn into doing. A new mindset without new habits is like planting seeds and never watering them. Nothing grows until you take consistent action, and here's the powerful truth. The more you act, the more your belief becomes real. Confidence is not born in silence, it is born in movement. Every time you face fear and act anyway, your courage grows. Every time you step forward despite doubt, your faith expands. The world doesn't respond to what you say you believe. It responds to how you live. Opportunities come when you show through action that you are ready. Respect comes when you carry yourself with conviction. Growth comes when you refuse to sit still and instead move in the direction of your dreams. Never forget, hesitation is the killer of destiny. If you wait until you feel fully ready, you will never begin. Readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. The moment you decide to act according to your belief, you are ready. So ask yourself today, do my actions reflect the person I believe I am? If not, it's time to realign. Walk, talk, and move like the person you see in your vision. Don't just dream it, live it. Don't just believe it, prove it. Because when belief and action meet, transformation is inevitable. And the world cannot ignore a person who not only believes in their greatness, but lives it every single day. Every morning, you face a moment that is more powerful than you realize. It happens when you stand in front of the mirror. Most people see only the surface, their face, their hair, the tiredness in their eyes. But the mirror is not just glass and reflection. The mirror is a battlefield. It is where you decide who you are before the world has a chance to tell you. For too long, many of us have looked into the mirror and seen only flaws. We focus on what is missing, what is wrong, what is broken. We whisper doubts to ourselves before we even step out of the door, and without realizing it, we program our own minds to live small. But what if you could change that? What if the same mirror that once reminded you of weakness became the mirror that reminded you of greatness? The truth is, the words you speak to yourself every day matter more than the words anyone else speaks to you. If you want confidence, you must speak it. If you want strength, you must declare it. If you want victory, you must claim it. The mirror becomes your training ground for belief. When you look at yourself and say, I am enough, I am strong, I am worthy, I am built for greatness, something shifts inside of you. At first it feels strange, it feels like a lie, but the more you say it, the more you believe it, and the more you believe it, the more you live it. This is not about pretending to be something you are not. It is about waking up to the truth of who you already are. The mirror does not create greatness, it reveals it. It forces you to confront yourself, to face the doubts, and to replace them with conviction. Every time you affirm your strength in the mirror, you are rewriting the story of your life. Imagine starting every day like this. Instead of carrying yesterday's failures, you declare today's possibilities. Instead of focusing on what others think, you focus on what you know about yourself. Instead of seeing limitations, you see potential. That shift alone can transform how you walk, how you talk, and how you carry yourself in every situation. The world responds to the energy you project, and that energy begins with what you tell yourself in private. If you see yourself as weak, the world will treat you as weak. But if you see yourself as strong, the world will recognize your strength. That's the power of the mirror of greatness. It reflects not just your image, but your identity. So, from this day forward, make a promise to yourself. Never walk away from the mirror without declaring your greatness. Remind yourself every morning that you are not defined by your past, not limited by your circumstances, and not broken by other people's opinions. You are defined by your strength, your resilience, and your unstoppable spirit. Because the truth is simple, when you see greatness in yourself, the world has no choice but to see it too.